crochet an adorable little chickie. You can also use this pattern to turn it into a little mallard duck if you'd like. It is completely no-sew, so quick and easy to make, and the beak and the feet are also crocheted on directly. So it is probably the easiest pattern ever. And let's go over some of the materials you'll need. For the materials, all you'll need is some super bulky weight chenille or velvet yarn. You could use other fibers if you'd like, but I'm using this, and I am using a 5mm crochet hook along with the super bulky weight yarn. You'll also need some plastic safety eyes. I'm using 7mm eyes here. And if you're wondering what this tool is, it's a nifty tool for attaching plastic safety eyes very easily. I'll show you how that works in the video, and you can find it in the link in the description box below. You'll also need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle for just sewing up the bottom of the chick, and some fiber fill stuffing. We're going to start off with some yellow yarn. To begin, you're going to start with round 1, and round 1 is a slip knot so that you can start your chains. And we're going to insert or make 2 chains, 1 and 2, and then work 8 single crochets in that second chain from your hook. So going into the second chain, I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5, 6, 7, and 8 single crochets, like so. Then we're going to move on to round 2. For round 2, we're going to insert 2 single crochets in each stitch. So in that first stitch, I'm going to put in 2 single crochets. That's an increase. Then increase in that next stitch as well. Increase in the next stitch. Oops. There we go. And continue around until you've increased 8 times total for a total of 16 single crochets. After you have increased around for round 2, we're going to do round 3. And for round 3, you're simply going to single crochet around. I'm going to use a yarn scrap to keep my place in the round. So this tells me where the beginning of my round will be. And I can just easily pull that yarn scrap out when I'm done. You can use a stitch marker if you want, but if you are cheap like me, you can use just a yarn scrap. So now I'm just going to single crochet in each stitch around. Like so. You're not increasing and you're not decreasing, so you should have a total of 16 stitches at the end of round 3. And what you'll do is you're going to continue crocheting around, doing straight rounds, so just single crochet around until you finish round number 8. We're going to meet back at the end of round 8. Here is round 8 complete, and as you can see, you should now have a long shape for your chick. You can go ahead and pull out that yarn end or that yarn scrap that you were using if you were keeping track of your place. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of pause here to add the beak to your chick. So you can add the beak between rounds 3 to rounds 4. Counting down, that's round 1, 2, 3, and 4. So between these 2 rounds, and I like to put the beak across 2 stitches. So you're going to insert your hook under 2 stitches between round 3 and 4. Once you've gotten that, you can grab your orange yarn for the beak. And this part, is super duper easy. So all you're going to do is basically pull your yarn in. We're attaching your yarn. Then you're going to make a chain. And you're going to pull a yarn tail and fasten off. You want to have sort of a long yarn tail so that you can tie it inside of your chick. So after you fasten off, you're going to pull in the starting and ending yarn tails both into the body. If you want your beak to be a little thicker, you can actually pull this yarn tail, the starting yarn tail, to the other side if you want, but I prefer to just pull it through where it started from, like so. And what you can do now is take those yarn tails and tie their ends inside of your chick's body. When you do that, it just makes sure that the ends are not going to come loose. And that's that for the little beak. Now, it's a good time to also attach those plastic safety eyes. I'm using 7mm eyes here, and I'm just going to attach it 1 stitch from where the beak is. So in the next stitch over, I'm going to push in that eye, like so. And then you're going to get that backing and secure it into your doll. I'm going to use this plastic safety eye tool. It's a really nifty attachment tool that I love. I'll link it in the description box below. But you just attach it with an easy click and the eye is in securely. So nice and easy, no need to break your fingers over attaching those safety eyes. Now to attach the next side, you're going to go 1 stitch over, and let's put that eye in like so. And attach in the same way as you did the first with the backing on the other side. After you finish attaching those plastic safety eyes, we're going to go ahead and finish up another round here. By the way, before you do round 9, because we're going to work pretty small now and close up that hole, you can go ahead and stuff your chick's body. So I'm just going to add some stuffing in here to make my chick nice and plump. And when you're ready, we're going to finish off with round number 9. Round 9 is simply to decrease all the way around. So here, I'm going into 2 stitches and crocheting them together. Let's see that again. In the next 2 stitches, you're going to yarn over, go into that next one, and pull through. So let's decrease. This is the 3rd decrease. When you decrease all the way around, you'll end up with 8 stitches at the very end. So here is round number 9 complete, and what I'm going to do is fasten off with a long tail, which I am going to use for sewing up that hole later. Before sewing up the hole though, it would be a good idea to kind of finish those little feet. That way you can tie the ends inside of your chick's body. So for the feet, we're going to go into rounds number, or between round 8 and round 9. Counting down from the top, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is our last round. So you're going to kind of eyeball to see where you want the feet to go. I like it kind of to the sides of my chick's body, but still centered enough so that you can see them. You can put them farther out to the side if you want. It's really up to you. Once you are happy with the placement, you're going to insert your hook just under one of those stitches where you want the feet to go, or where you want one foot to go. And just like how you did the beak, you're going to pull yarn through, make a chain, then fasten off with a long tail. Oops. And you're going to pull those yarn ends in. I want my foot to look a little thicker, so I'm going to pull the starting yarn tail into the next stitch over. There we go. And that's really that for the foot. You can just tie those ends, the starting and ending yarn tail ends, inside of the chick's body. Make sure you stuff them inside, like so. All right. And let's go ahead and do that next side here. So I'm going to, let me see, eyeball where I want the foot to go. I think around here would be good. All right, so I'm just going to repeat the instructions for the second foot here. Pull yarn through, make a chain, fasten off with a long tail, and pull those yarn tails into the body. And after pulling them in, I'm going to tie those ends. And I'm going to hide those yarn ends inside the chick's body. Now, if you want to do any last minute stuffing, you can. Otherwise, if you are ready to close up your chick's body, you can attach that long yarn tail from the body, round 9, onto your yarn needle here. And I just simply do a running stitch through the front loops only of the last round. So here I'm going into the front loops, into the front loops, going into those front loops, and here are the last 2 front loops. And after I've gone all the way around, I'm gonna make sure my stuffing is staying inside. I'm gonna pull the yarn tail, and you'll see that the hole is closed when I pull. And that's really that for the little chick. You can go ahead and weave in your yarn ends. And if you want to, now is a good time to attach a keychain on the very top of its head. So if you'd like to add that to your chick, I just pull the yarn end through the top, grab a little keyring here. I'll link what I used here in the description box below if you'd like to get the same kind. And you can insert your hook into that, not hook, sorry, your yarn needle back into the chick. And I'm just going to secure the chick's keyring with a couple of stitches to make it extra secure. Oops, oh no, I'm running out here. Alright, I didn't make my yarn tail long enough for this part, so I'm just going to use my hook to pull it through. There we go. And I'm going to kind of weave it in. So what's great is that instead of a yarn needle, you can always use your crochet hook, especially a smaller one, to kind of get those ends woven in. And that's that for your little chick. If you want to play around with some yarn colors, you can also crochet a little mallard duck. The instructions for the mallard are actually in a written PDF pattern available on my blog, so be sure to check that out. Alright, happy crocheting, friends. Bye now!